Hey, babe. No screwing around. This is serious stuff here. Today, we have a very, very serious topic. We're going to talk about food travel. So by the time this episode is over, you are going to know how to travel with your food like a pro. So over the years, I've done a lot of traveling, and seeing as I was a competitive bodybuilder at that time, I did a lot of traveling with food, right? And I put a lot of methods in place to make sure that I stayed on track with my diet, no matter where I was going. Now, what I'm gonna show you is bulletproof when you're traveling domestically. Once you start traveling abroad into other countries, the situation gets hairy because you're going through other countries' customs, and a lot of other countries, they do not want you bringing food into their country. They have their reasons, we're not gonna get into that, but let's just say you're traveling domestically within the United States, you've got goals, and you want to stay on your diet because staying on your diet is paramount to achieving those goals. But it's a giant pain in the ass. You're saying, well, how am I gonna bring my food with me on a plane, to a hotel, so on and so forth? I've done it a million times. I'm gonna show you. And I think this is gonna be really, really helpful. Why would you want to travel with your food? Well, as long as we can agree on the fact that you staying on your diet is key to you accomplishing your goals, there's why you would want to stay on your diet while you're traveling. So why would you want to bring your food from home? Versus, you have a couple other options. You could arrive at your destination, and if you had booked a hotel with a kitchen, you can go grocery shopping and you can prep all your food there. I've done that. I will save that option if I'm traveling abroad, because I'm gonna be honest, after traveling to the airport, however many hours of flight, when I get someplace, I don't wanna start prepping food. Not only am I most likely tired, I probably got up early to make the flight, all the chaos going through the airport, the long flight, then I'm gonna go, to a grocery store I'm not familiar with. I'm gonna bring it back to a totally subpar kitchen and start cooking on really shitty, pots and pans. It's a pain in the ass, guys. Would I do it? Have I done it? 1,000 times. In other countries, yes, I've prepped food in Australia. I've prepped food in New Zealand. I've prepped it in Brazil. I've prepped it in Germany, the UK. I've done it all over the world, and I would much, much rather not have to do it. I would much rather have my food arrive, unpack my food, put it in a refrigerator, lay down in the bed, or go out for a walk and explore the destination I'm at. Even if you say, well, you know what, I'm gonna just pay. Right now, I'm gonna arrive someplace, whatever the cost is, I'm gonna pay somebody to prepare my meals. Well, now you have to find a restaurant, find a chef, find someone who's willing to do it. You have to assume they're gonna actually listen to what you tell them in terms of ounces of this, grams of that, prep it the way you want it prepped. I've been there too, total pain in the ass. If you can have your own stuff and do it as you want it, you're gonna be much better off. Now, in all fairness, I know there's a lot of meal prep companies out there at the moment. I've never been a fan, okay? I've always prepped my own food. I want it done the way I want it. I know what's going in. That's just the way I like it. But if utilizing a food prep service is something that you find doable, that's fine too. But I'm gonna show you how to do it the way that a pro does it. So, first and foremost, I would prep my food like it was any other week. So I'm gonna use my most recent trip to Las Vegas for the Mr. Olympia as an example. I left on a Thursday out of New York, and I was gonna be in Vegas Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days. Now the day of travel, right, I bring food with me. Bring this with me on a plane. 3 meals. Okay, when I'm traveling, I figure on bringing 3 meals per day. So I use this just cheapo Tupperware because A, I don't care if it gets beat up or broken or whatever. I'm not gonna bring Pyrex because it's too heavy, it's a pain in the ass. This stuff is cheap, and as you notice, it fits, right? This can be zipped up. I just put it in a duffel bag, goes over my shoulder on the plane. Whenever I need to eat, take this out, eat a meal. In my most recent trip to Vegas, I had a meal before I left the house in the morning, right? Eggs, some toast. The next 3 meals, chicken, veggies, sweet potatoes. Then when I got to Vegas, I had another meal. There's my 5 meals for the day. Easy. Now, when it comes to prepping food, do you need a vacuum sealer? You don't need one, but it would make things a lot better. And when it comes to vacuum sealers, now I've been through several food savers over the years. I bought one in the early 2000s, okay, when they really kind of first became popular. And I will give credit where it's due. It was a great machine. It worked well for years. Once that one broke and I replaced it, every one that I had thereafter was a frustrating piece of garbage. I had no luck with them. I don't want to sit here and tell you not to buy one, but I would not recommend them. I picked this one up, okay, this is a Weston. I picked this up a few years back. It's an absolute beast. Is it more expensive than a food saver? Most food savers, I think if you get a decent one, you're pushing 200 bucks. This I think was about 350 bucks, but it has a built-in fan. You can back to back vacuum seal with this thing. It won't overheat. It'll take whatever you throw at it. It does a great job. It's an absolute animal. So if you're somebody who's serious about food prep, you probably should have one. Again, I'm not out to spend your money, but I do think it's a worthwhile investment. So using my most recent trip to Las Vegas as an example, prep a bunch of chicken. So here's an example. This is 27 ounces of chicken breast. That's what I eat in one day because I have 9 ounces per meal times 3 meals, right? So what I would do is, and what I did do, there we have 1 day's worth of chicken. So if this was Las Vegas, I would know this was Friday, there would be Saturday, and there would be Sunday. Thursday would be with me in these, coming with me on the plane. I'm gonna vacuum seal this up. Once vacuum sealed, I put it in the freezer. Once frozen, right, the morning of the trip, right? This is a knockoff of a Yeti, right? It's a much cheaper version, but I find it works extremely well. If I were to freeze my food and put it in here, I could probably come back 3 days later and it would still be frozen. And when I travel, once all put together, this would go in my checked baggage. I'm gonna show you all that in a minute. First, let's vacuum seal this. Right. So if anybody's never used a vacuum sealer before, that goes in there. You push down on this, you hit start. It releases, okay? The air has been sucked out and it's now sealed. You could do this a week ahead of time. You could do this 2 weeks ahead of time, because this thing is just gonna go in the freezer and it's gonna go, like I said, into the cooler, frozen. So if it were the Vegas trip, there would be 1, 2, 3 of these going into there. Now I've got my protein because getting breakfast wherever I'm going is not a big deal, and having dinner is not a big deal. There's 5 meals. Bring 3 meals a day and you are more than likely to stay on track. So here's another tip, right? When it comes to carbohydrates and fats, right? Because again, you wanna bring as little prepared food as possible. So rice cakes are a really, really easy carbohydrate source. They don't need to be refrigerated. They don't need to be vacuum sealed. They don't need to be prepared. You could buy them there if you wanted to. Probably buy these, they probably have them in the place at the airport. Fats, again, nuts also travel very easy. Don't need to be prepared, don't need any type of preferential storage, don't need to be refrigerated, etc., etc. Just open the bag and consume. The only thing that I would bring along with the chicken, which I did, was some vegetables. So I steamed some broccoli and steamed some cauliflower, put it in a bag, vacuum seal it, freeze it. So I'm basically just bringing chicken and veggies with me. And that, between the chicken, the vegetables, the rice cakes, and the nuts, I've got 3 complete meals for 4 days. Easy, so easy. There's no good reason not to do it. So again, assuming I had all that food prepared, it would just end frozen, right? And it's the morning of, okay, I'm leaving for Las Vegas, put everything in. The food is frozen, it goes into the cooler. I've got my luggage, this is my checked bag. So, this would go in there like that, and the rest of my clothes go in there, and we're on our way. So easy, so easy. Not a big deal. Now, one thing you really want to make sure to consider is baggage weight. Now, usually what I'll do is I'll take my bathroom scale, I'll bring it down here the night before, right, and I'll kind of do like a test run, like what the bag's gonna weigh with my clothes in it and all that, because you may have found out in a rather painful manner, if you go over 50 pounds, they're gonna wanna clip you $100. Now, let's be honest, even if you had to pay an additional $100, it's still worth it because you're gonna come out ahead, you know, you're still gonna save way more than that, not having to eat out 5 meals a day. But I don't wanna fork over $100 if I don't have to, and I'm assuming you probably feel the same. Like the current luggage I have, I bought probably 10, 12 years ago. The bag, now it's a large bag made to be checked, and it's about 15 pounds empty. I mean, they've made all sorts of advancements. If you go on, the bag I have is Samsonite. Okay, I'm a big Samsonite fan. And they run sales periodically throughout the year. So a lot of times you can score some really expensive luggage for, you know, maybe $150. And I think that's a very reasonable price to pay for a piece of baggage that could feasibly last you. Now, that's lasted me a dozen years. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm looking to shave poundages off, the bag could probably last me a lifetime. So $150 I think is worth it. You could buy cheap luggage, I wouldn't do it. Buy spinner luggage, buy it from a good company. I've had great luck with Samsonite, they make good stuff. You could buy more expensive stuff, but I think all things considered, it's a pretty solid value. With my bag being about 15 pounds, there's plenty of bags now that are under 10 pounds. You're talking like 7 to 10 pounds. That's gonna shave an instant 5 pounds off. That makes a big difference, all right? Because a lot of times I find when I'm packing up my stuff for a 4 or 5 day trip, I usually come in around 52, 53 pounds with my food, and then you gotta, you know, try to see what you're gonna deduct. So if you're already starting off 5 pounds lighter, you don't have to worry about that. So then when you get to your destination, I mean, I've been places where there wasn't a huge fridge. What I do, just kind of take the food out the morning of and let it thaw. I've got the Tupperware that I brought with me, which I would just refill for each day. And that's it, guys. It's really that simple. You know, maybe on a given day, your normal carb source is rice or potatoes. Well, for a few days, eat some freaking rice cakes. Not a big deal, right? Same thing, fats. Okay, maybe you have something more exotic. Have some nuts. Maybe you can't have nuts. There's other, you know, you could bring a bottle of olive oil. God forbid it breaks, but you could put it in the cooler so it's padded, it's guarded. There's ways to do this. I'm telling you, it's worth putting together a system. This is my system. You could easily copy this. It works. I've done it a million times, or develop your own. But the key point here is when you're traveling, if you are off your diet for 3 days, it's gonna screw you up. Look, there's so much out there now. You can even buy minute rice, right? They've got those rice, the rice that you buy, you pop it in the microwave and boom, it's ready. There's no good reason to travel and totally wreck your diet. Stay on your diet all day. If you wanna go out and you have a nice meal at night, great, that's enjoyable. Plus, it's gonna save you a lot of money. If you're eating, okay, 5 meals out each day, especially say in a place like Las Vegas, again, it's not only gonna be massively inconvenient, it's gonna be really, really expensive. And it's not gonna be on your diet. So that's my advice. I hope you guys find this helpful. Stay tuned. As always, I appreciate it. Comment below. You know I look forward to interacting with you guys. Subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.